bragging about shaking down the country of Ukraine with your $1 billion tax dollars, forcing them in 6 hours, as he said, son of a bee, they did it, to fire a prosecutor who was investigating, his son's company, the guy, his son, who made millions of dollars, yet admits he knew nothing about Ukraine, nothing about oil, gas, or energy. American people deserve to know the truth. The president asking for the truth is doing the right thing, and he is now doing his constitutional duty, faithfully executing the laws of this country. Now, why would they pay the son of America's second most powerful elected official millions of dollars with no experience? I don't know, maybe to buy favor with the Bidens. Let's be clear. If you live in one of those districts we were showing, know that your member of Congress will go on record on Thursday and decide whether or not your 2016 vote will be invalidated over the president's sworn duty. He did his job, and the transcript bears that out. There is nothing there. The only corruption was the Bidens. The only corruption the media won't talk about are the Bidens. That's how corrupt and morally bankrupt and intellectually lazy and dishonest they are. And meanwhile, one of those investigations, the Durham Barr probe into the origins of this Russia witch hunt, it is now heating up. The Department of Justice is now giving U.S. Attorney John Durham the power to file criminal charges, subpoena witnesses, convene a grand jury. During an interview with Fox News, the Attorney General, William Barr, he praised Durham and the progress he is making, all while taking a pretty not-so-veiled shot at the corrupt, fired FBI Director James Comey, Mr. Super Patriot himself. Too bad I missed him at Politicon. Take a look.
We'll let the chips fall where they may. I think they all know John Durham's reputation, and we'll just see how it turns out. But I do want to say that one of the reasons Mr. Durham is able to make the kind of progress he's making is because Director Wray and his team at the FBI have just been outstanding in the support and responsiveness they've given to Mr. Durham. As you know, I've said previously that I felt there was a failure of leadership at the Bureau in 2016 and part of 2017.
Mr. Super Patriot Comey attended Politicon. Now, I was there debating James Carville. We're going to show you some of that later. Said he's not worried about Durham's investigation, but that if Trump gets reelected, he's going to move to New Zealand. See you later. Let's give you some advice, Jim. Start packing, because Durham, Barr, Horowitz, they're getting to the truth. You know it. And by the way, soon the world will see the deep state corruption up close and personal. Come 2020, the choice will not be clearer. Joining us now, North Carolina Congressman Mark Meadows, Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz, both members of, thankfully, the one group in Congress that keeps their promises, stands on their principles, the Freedom Caucus. Congressman Meadows, let me begin with you. First, let's talk about the meaning of getting Baghdadi, but more importantly, there were even Republicans critical of the president's policy in Syria, but it was this president that took away the rules of engagement and beat the caliphate completely in Syria. Now they got its leader, the leader of ISIS.
Well, it was a good day for America. It was a good day for the free world, and it was certainly a great day for the president and his decisiveness on taking out not just the number one guy, but the number one and number two guy in terms of terrorist activities in Syria. You can criticize the president for his Syria policy, but let me just tell you, it looks pretty good on Monday after the weekend in terms of not only are we protecting the oil fields, but we're going after terrorists. And, you know, those pictures you showed earlier about the beheadings and all the things, we can remember that. That was in our living rooms, and yet it has not been a common occurrence since this president has been in office. So I just want to thank the president for his decisiveness.
Yeah, and Matt Gaetz, then we go to the witch hunt. I've read on this program again and again, Politico, they confirmed, in fact, there was election interference in 2016 by Ukraine. For 3 years now, we've heard about the dangers of foreign interference in our elections. Here we have a country admitting it. And you got a vice president at the time bragging about leveraging our tax money to get a Ukrainian prosecutor fired who we found out was paying his own son millions with no experience in Ukraine, oil, energy, or gas. Why on earth would they be paying Hunter Biden all that money with zero experience? I bet you'd like to get paid that money for knowing nothing.
Well, I hope I know a little more than nothing, but I would say that, Hunter Biden is not exactly the kind of guy you expect to go and resolve international disputes. According to reporting by The New Yorker, he hasn't even resolved his own dispute with Hertz rental car for leaving a crack pipe in a crashed vehicle. So not exactly an international man of mystery. But I think what you see, Sean, is that Donald Trump is innocent and the deep state is guilty. And when you've got Mr. Durham out there with an investigation that transitioned from an administrative review to a criminal investigation, that is a hat tip that there was some catalyzing event that caused the Attorney General and Mr. Durham to seek the ability to have that criminal process at their disposal. I also think Durham probably frightens the deep state a lot more than even the FISA review, because the Durham investigation is the investigation that goes deepest into the Obama White House. And so that's where I think you'll see people like Clapper and Brennan implicated.
And you're seeing they're all trying to get out ahead of this story. We saw it with Comey, but you're right, because you can't have, as Andy McCarthy says, a counterintelligence investigation without the president knowing. That president would be Obama. I want to know what he knew and when he knew it. Let me ask you this, Congressman Meadows. We've got the IG report coming out. On the heels of that, we're going to get the Durham report. What are you expecting Americans are going to hear, and how shocked will they be at their findings?
Well, I think the findings will be breathtaking. I can tell you that many of the allegations that the president has made over the last 3 years and the genesis of this whole investigator process will actually provide fruit where the American people will start to say, not only was the president's campaign spied upon, but then there was a covert operation to try to cover all this up. Now, you mentioned one thing earlier, Sean, and that was about Ukraine, and you talked about a Politico article. But we've got even better evidence than that. We have congressional transcripts of Nellie Orr, which indicated that the only connection to some of her sources was Lushenko from the Ukraine. And so if Adam Schiff wants to get to the bottom of this, let me just tell you, the president is innocent. I've been in now 8 witnesses, 60 hours. The president is innocent. We need to shut this down, but we do need to investigate the origins. And there is a Ukraine problem, and it's a Ukraine problem with the Democrats. And
the president was asking to get to the bottom of the interference that all these people told us we need to care about for 3 years. Last word, Matt Gaetz, you got about 20 seconds.
The strongest evidence to me that Ukraine was involved is from a court in the Ukraine. A court in the Ukraine found that there were improper actions by the Ukraine to get involved in the U.S. elections.
A court in Ukraine
improper.
Determined that election interference took place in their country against our elections. Correct. Checkmate. This is going to get interesting. Buckle up. Every Republican better vote no on Thursday. We're watching. When we come back, Senator Lindsey Graham, Newt Gingrich, they react to Pelosi saying the House will vote to formalize the impeachment inquiry. Also, the latest on the death of al-Baghdadi and the corrupt media mob. Well, their predictable, sick, twisted, ugly, rage, psychotic reaction. Straight ahead. I have a question. Have you started your free trial on Fox Nation? Well, the time to join is right now. Just go to foxnation.com. It is the perfect companion to the Fox News channel, featuring your favorite Fox News personalities like you've never seen them before. Exclusive series, specials, documentaries that entertain and inform. Go now, foxnation.com, and you get to watch these exclusive shows. Take a look.
It's the Fox Nation Patriot Awards on November 6th. See the incredible stories of America's great patriots, honor their devotion to our country, and celebrate with them as they receive the recognition they deserve, all while raising